Hello, I'm Adam Liaw and welcome to The Cook-Up, a Hollywood actor's wellness empire. On tonight's menu, pork, pineapple and paprika skewers, grilled pork chops and a fruity strawberry bruschetta. Let's say hi to our guests. Art Simone is a drag artist, entertainer and producer. She was a runner-up at the inaugural season of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under and hosts the podcast Concealed with Art Simone. She loves food, spicy food. Welcome, Art.
Hello, how are you?
Great to have you here.
Oh, thank you for having me here in your kitchen. It's quite lovely, isn't it?
I was going to wear the same thing. So lucky we didn't.
No, we got to work these things out. I'm sorry.
Chef and restaurateur Jerry Mai's vibe is all about flavour, no fuss. You can usually find her cooking Vietnamese, Thai and Cambodian cuisine in Melbourne, but tonight we are lucky to find her cooking right here in the kitchen. Hello, Jerry.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
Great to have you here. Thai, Cambodian, Vietnamese, is there a cuisine that you don't cook maybe, but you would like to find out more about?
I would love to learn more about Middle Eastern cuisine. I don't cook a lot of it. My wife is excellent at it.
Yeah.
I am terrible at it. Give me chili and garlic, I'm good.
Yeah.
Give me the rest, I'm kind of confused. I'd love to learn more of that.
Yeah, I think the way to learn more about cuisines that you aren't familiar with is to eat more of them first.
I was actually going to say that. If I just keep eating it, I should learn it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm practicing that now.
Yeah, great. Art, how did you get into drag?
I got into drag because I loved the art of transformation, especially during high school. You know, like a lot of teenagers, I wasn't too sure of who I was or who I wanted to be. I didn't feel comfortable in my skin, so I started playing with makeup and becoming all these different characters, and it just evolved and came from, you know, there. So, you know, just like cooking a little bit, you know.
It is a bit like cooking, the art of transformation. That's what we specialise here in the kitchen. Well, tonight is a beauty because everything that we are making is fast, fab and fruity. That rhymed. I don't know if I was supposed to make that rhyme, but it rhymed.
Is that your hat for the rest of the day?
That's beautiful.
It's a bit Carmen Miranda,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's nice. I could see that Mardi Gras.
Where do you stand on, Art, controversial question, pineapple on pizza?
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct answer.
Good. I can stay for dinner now? Okay, all right.
Although some people, Jerry, have a problem with cooked fruit. What do you feel?
I'm a cooked fruit person as well. I do a dessert or a Thai dessert that's got steamed pumpkin and custard in it. Oh, well, as a vegetable.
That is one of my favourites.
Yeah, right. But I love cooked fruit, especially pineapple on a pizza.
Very good to hear. It's not quite a pizza, but I am cooking with pineapple day because I'm making pork, pineapple and paprika skewers. Pork, pineapple and paprika skewers. You know, quite often I will come up with a recipe literally just because it's got the same letters in the name. The fact that these ingredients are going to go together quite nicely is entirely secondary to the fact that the name sounds quite good. Jerry, I've become quite a skewer person and I go for a lot of the metal skewers these days because I'm sick of soaking and washing. And where do you stand? Do you like soaking skewers? And
Oh, I'm for not burning my skewers so that we can grab onto it and eat them as well. So no, I'm with you.
Art, favourite cuisines? Is there anything that in your travels that you've sort of go, you know, this is all right?
Oh, you know, I love a lot of different Asian cuisines. Like you said, I love spicy things. I wish spicy was a cuisine. Could it be? Could I make a new one, just spicy? So I'm still exploring, and that's weird to say as a 31-year-old drag queen, but I'm still exploring my taste buds. So, you know, I'm open to it all.
So here's a question that I have about drag. How much of your non-drag personality comes into the drag persona?
It's different for every single person. So for me personally, my drag personality is me, just a lot louder, a lot brighter, a lot more colourful. But I'm still the same person. I just look a little bit better, you know, a little bit more sparkly, a little bit more glamorous.
It's just, I imagine that there's almost this like Clark Kent, Superman, Superwoman kind of thing where you, outside of drag, could be out at a party going, geez, I wish I was in drag right now. Because it's just like...
That's never happened to me, no.
Is there sometimes a bit of that?
If I could do it like Clark Kent and Superman, where I just went into a phone booth and spun around and I got into drag, amazing, or a bit like Wonder Woman. But it's like 3 to 4 hours to get into this.
I was going to say,
so I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's all right. Maybe I'll do some sunglasses and lipstick. That's all right. That's all we'll do.
So in here I've got some smoked paprika, some salt, a bit of soy sauce. I think salt and salty things is very important for marinades because essentially it's not a marinade, it's a brine. marinades do not penetrate into... I feel very wary.
You were talking about cooked fruit earlier, and I'm still stuck on that one. So.
Double entendre is kind of like, the raison d'etre of drag, and I feel like I'm walking into these all the time.
Look, I'm being very well behaved today. I'll just be biting the food and not the puns,
I need to re-script the way I'm talking about something penetrating the meat in this circumstance.
Yep.
But
What did you just put in then?
tomato sauce.
Really?
I think tomato sauce is a great marinade ingredient, particularly for things like skewers where you're going to be cooking it on a grill.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of sweet, sour, and umami. And so when you
Interesting, right?
combine those things together, it's pretty good ingredients for a marinade. And plus, it's got some salt in there as well, which also always helps a marinade.
I put tomato sauce in my bolognese.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it just balances out really, really well.
So that marinades for a while. We come back. I sometimes call this paprika. Because I think in a lot of other cultures it is called paprika. So I've got the smoked paprika in there, but then also some chopped up capsicum,
yeah, okay,
which is also
interesting.
called
I was
paprika.
confused earlier. Now you make sense. I get that.
Yeah. In Japanese, for example, a capsicum's called a paprika. So,
Okay.
So I'm just going pineapple, and I will show you later on how to cut a pineapple. I love pineapple when it's in season in Australia. I absolutely adore it. And we'll always have one in the fridge when pineapple's in season. So I think sometimes I make the skewers a little bit too porky, a little bit too meaty because I like extra meat, but I don't like to have too much of the pineapple and paprika on there, but it is quite necessary to have that there, like a good amount of it so that it's not just a big meaty skewer. Again, I've walked right into it.
My impact. Oh.
So once you've got those all kind of ready to go, a good amount of oil onto the skewer, I think, is a better way of doing it. With these grill pans, you don't actually need to use a grill pan. If you just want to do it in a frying pan, totally fine. If you want to do it on a barbecue, totally fine. You've got way more options when you're on a metal skewer, to be honest.
Air fryer. I've been putting a lot of things in the air fryer. That has been really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more.
I know it's controversial, right? When I first bought one, all my chef friends were like, "Why would you do that?" But it's easy.
And plus,
all
you've
the
got
dirt,
young
all
kids.
Yeah.
When you got young kids, sometimes I think, I'm not an anti-air fryer person, but I also don't see the use for it in my world, except for when we're doing school lunches and stuff like that. It'd be useful to just be able to...
No, but for at home, they're great.
One thing that I think people could do to improve their barbecuing is have a little squeezy bottle or a drizzly bottle of oil there, because I think you just need to kind of keep up the oil.
Yeah.
I tend to cook with vegetable oil mainly, olive oil secondary, and then butter third. Jerry, what are your favourite cooking oils?
Definitely vegetable oil. It's
Yeah.
neutral. I use it to pan fry, sear, marinate. And then, definitely olive oil. I'm cooking a really nice steak or something like that.
Sure.
And then butter is like when I do French toast for the kids or something like that.
About the same, I say. Art, any
Well, as a drag queen, we actually love coconut oil because we take up our makeup with coconut oil.
Really? Really?
Because the makeup is crazy, right? There's so much of it on.
Yeah.
You need an oil to break it down. So a lot of people use like coconut oil because that breaks down all the makeup and you can take it off super quick. Isn't that
These
strange?
are the kinds of insights you only get here on the cook-up.
You can use the kitchen things for a lot of things that you use in drag. It's true.
Wow.
So my skewers are done, and essentially that is
That's amazing.
it. We're just going to stack them up. I don't even think we need to serve this with anything. If that hit the table, I think you'd be pretty happy with it. I'm just going to add maybe a cheek of lemon or two. Oh, a little hot, but okay.
Those metal skewers.
It's coming. I was doing so well, and just a crack of pepper, and I'm going to serve that with a little Tabasco on the side. Super easy. Pork, pineapple, paprika skewers. All right, with the metal skewers, you have to worry that the skewer's not going to get too hot. Just putting it out there.
Yum.
The pork is beautiful. The pineapple.
And the pineapple.
A lot of people think you got to slow cook pork belly for hours and hours. You absolutely don't. I stir fry it, I stick it on skewers. It's tender as it is.
But it's really tender. I really like that really nice texture of the pork belly as well. Whereas when you cook it slow, it just falls apart and it could be any meat, right?
Yeah.
But like this, you can taste the pork. It's juicy.
I think it's a great skewering meat because it's got the layers anyway. It's almost like you're skewering multiple layers with just one piece of pork.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I love that.
I didn't explain it. You guys are eating it. You guys are eating it. You're enjoying it. When we come back, it's Art and Jerry's turn to get fast, fab, and fruity. Welcome back to a fast, fab and fruity night on the cook-up. Drag legend Art Simone and chef legend Jerry Meyer are here in the kitchen. Jerry, what's your dish?
Lemongrass pork chop in rice paper rolls today.
One of my favourites. And Art, what are you making?
I'm doing a fruity strawberry bruschetta.
Sounds fruity today. Fruit bruschetta.
Yeah.
Are you okay cooking in front of a naked flame? I'm just slightly concerned. I don't want the headline tomorrow to be Art Simone dead at 31 in a fireball on the set of the cook-up.
But wouldn't that be exciting, though? What a way to go. Doing what I love, being burnt. Gosh.
Yeah,
no, I haven't cooked in front of an open flame in full drag before. This is a first to me.
Okay.
But I'm all for a challenge, you know. I'm all for new things.
So in the pan, what do we got?
All right, so we've got brown sugar, we've got lemon zest, we've got lemon juice, we've got these beautiful strawberries, and we're just going to make a beautiful little syrup topping.
In a drag performance, do you ever have a tough crowd?
Oh, always. You know, you have good shows, you have bad shows, but my biggest thing with being a drag performer is a lot of people like to be on stage and be like, look at me, I'm the best thing that ever existed in the world.
Yeah.
And they want to feel like the biggest person in the room. Whereas I like to find the smallest person in the room and make them feel like the biggest person there. That's what it's really about for me, is making those people light up and feel fabulous.
That's actually really sweet to hear, because I sometimes think, you know, comedians, if they go out on stage and bomb, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, I had a tough night, tough room.
Yeah.
For a drag performer, you spend hours getting the makeup.
That's true, yeah.
Going out there, you really kind of, you know, it's like, geez, I shouldn't have bothered, you know?
Yeah, look, one saying that was handed down to me by drag queens past was never waste a good face. So even if it's a bad show, go and do something else in it. Take a sexy photo, you know?
Cool.
Go hang out with some friends. Don't waste it.
Life advice. That's looking fantastic, by the way. Jerry, lemongrass pork chops are one of my favourite Vietnamese things.
It's very synonymous with Vietnamese food, right?
What's happening in there? I'd like the master to show me how to do it properly.
Well, in here I've just got some white peppercorn and some garlic and a pinch of salt, and I've pounded that down. Lemongrass, and you know, to cut a lemongrass, right, we look at the stick and what do we use on the lemongrass?
Right. I hear lots of competing things. I have my own theories about it, but how do you do it?
Well, I just look for, there's always a little bulge in the lemongrass.
Yeah.
Once you cut that, you'll see the really nice centre in there.
Yep.
As long as it's a small centre, that's mean the fibrous bits have been cutting off.
Okay.
And then really just slice it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I feel like I need a bit of assistance, I just, the back of my knife.
Yeah.
I just do that, and that just helps break it down. And then in a waste not world, I sometimes use this as a brush.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to brush oil on or seasoning on to my...
Because there is flavour in it. It's just a bit too fibrous to eat. I'll often, like, boil that in sugar syrup or something and make, like, a cordial.
And a little tea or something as well. Yeah.
Tea is also a great one.
So then we just pound all this down.
So this is, I guess, the aromatics for the marinade.
Correct.
What else goes into it?
So I got the lemongrass, which is my flavour, my garlic, and then I season it with a bit of salt and fish sauce.
Sugar?
Sugar, no sugar in this one. I'm just going to keep it... I know, controversial, right?
Very
so I'll
much
just grab
so.
this out. Because I'm getting a lot of sugars in the fruit that I'm serving with this as well.
Okay, of course.
And the nook mum will have sugar. So on occasions, if I'm not serving it with fruit, I'll put honey in here as well.
Right.
But because I know I'm going to have a lot of fruit and stuff, I'm not going to do that today. Like this, and a little bit of fish sauce in here.
If you hadn't become a chef, Jerry, what do you reckon you would have become?
You know, once in another lifetime, I was a real estate agent.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I'll get out of hospitality and I thought I'll become a real estate agent. So I thought I'll do that.
Yeah.
And it turned out that cooking is where my life is. Cooking is where I want to be. So then I came back to it. So I tried to run away and I got pulled back in.
I think it's worthwhile doing something like that, you know, because people get confused in their own heads a lot. And sometimes you need to take yourself out of your own head in order to know that you're doing the right thing. It's not always about changing and doing something else. It could be confirming that the path that you're on is the right one.
Yeah, no, correct, right. And, you know, I was young and I thought I'll go try something else. And my parents always thought cooking was, even though, you know, my parents had restaurants, they obviously didn't want that path for me. So when I said I'll go do something else, I was super happy about it. Yeah. You know, but now, you know what, when I go home, I'm still the apprentice in my mum's kitchen. I can only pick herbs and I reckon I can even cut the fruit.
Yeah, okay.
Some days I'll probably do it wrong as well. So that's where I'm at in my house.
Well, it is lovely in a way as well, because the day that you become the master in that kitchen, it means that the torch is passed, and there's something sad about that happening too.
I'm super happy with that, because I can ring up and say I'm coming over on the weekend, and she'll go, what would you like to eat? Which is great, right? So nothing is better than Mum's cooking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How long is that marinated for?
So this has been marinated for a couple of hours.
Okay.
And then we're just going to sear it. And, you know, when you put meat down and when you're cooking and searing things, you really need to hear that sizzle when you put it down. If you don't hear that sizzle, just take it off, let the thing come back up to heat.
Yeah.
It's better to fix it now than to try and rectify it when it's done, you know?
Excellent advice.
Yeah.
Art Simone.
Yes.
What's the origin of your drag name?
Well, it's funny because my drag name came from, I wanted a name that was quite androgynous because Art really is short for Arthur.
Yes.
So in America, a lot of people think I'm like a man, but I'm actually a really good drag queen. So because I wanted a name that I could use my whole career, whether I was in drag or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's where Art came from, and then Simone was just at the end because you know what?
Yeah.
It's a pretty lady's name.
Yes.
But also, I went to art school.
Ah.
And my lecturer sat me down one day and said, "You will never be an artist." And I said, "You know what? I'm going to call myself Art." And then from that point onwards, look at me now.
What the hell kind of art school where the people who are
Look,
teaching...
I'm not going to name and shame them here.
But that's a terrible thing.
I know.
People are coming to you for guidance in the future and you can't...
Yeah. I don't know whether it was a mission where it was like, I'm going to shock you to do something extravagant or crazy, but I don't really know why that happened, but I'm glad it did because I dropped out. Look at me now. I'm on SBS, baby. Wow.
So the mascarpone there is just mascarpone and vanilla. So you don't need to sweeten that because that's sweet.
Yeah, and then we're just going to put some butter on some brioche and toast it, and then we can create our drag creation.
This is wonderful. I love it.
Thank you.
Jerry, that's smelling fabulous from over there.
Ooh, you start smelling the lemongrass cooked through, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm talking about when you're putting protein on.
Yes.
Because it's going to seal the meat straight away and keep the moisture inside the meat.
Love it.
All right.
Dressing?
Yeah, Nuoc Mum.
Nuoc Mum.
The holy grail of all Vietnamese, right?
Okay, so Nuoc Mum, is it the sauce or is it the fish sauce?
So Nuoc Mum is fish sauce, yes. And Nuoc Mum Chum is the dipping sauce. Yeah. But most of the time we just refer it to in the household as Nuoc Mum.
That's very confusing.
Right?
It's very confusing.
Yeah. But when I look at my mum, I seem to know what she's talking about. For some reason, I just do. I don't know, the fear in my eye or something.
It's like two words, one word for two things that are very common.
Yeah.
Right? And how do you know which one you're being put? You just like, is it a tone thing or the like?
Oh, look, I think I sort of look at the table and I go, oh, she's eating right. She needs this Nuoc Mum. Okay. Or if she wants to dip something, I need to bring her the savoury one. But I mean, technically, you call this Nuoc Mum Mang, which is saltine fish sauce.
Okay.
Right?
And this is Nuoc Mum Chum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was just water, sugar.
Yep. Fish sauce in here.
Fish sauce.
And then vinegar.
And vinegar.
And then I add garlic, chopped garlic, chopped chilli.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Do you add the garlic and chilli now so it infuses, or do you keep it in the fridge like that and then add the garlic and chilli?
I like keeping it in the fridge like this.
Okay.
Because then that way we can eat it and then the kids can eat it. So just chop my garlic like so. And it just brings a bit of freshness into it as well.
Yeah.
And like you said, I will do this when I serve it and not earlier.
Okay.
So
because sometimes you see like carrot and stuff in there, and is that the same kind of sauce?
So I'll same kind of sauce, and I would actually add that all when I go to serve it.
Got it.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm having a leaf salad, I'll just throw some of this in. Sometimes when I'm having a craving for rice paper, it's there, it's ready to go. I don't have to wait around for it.
Love it. Pork chops nearly done. Rice paper rolls ready to be assembled after the break. Time for a fast, fab and fruity feast. Plus, I'll show you how to tackle a whole pineapple. Welcome back to the Cook-Up, where tonight we are feeling fast, fab and fruity. Art Simone and Jerry Mai are on duty. Jerry, are you nearly done?
I'm nearly done here.
Love it. Love it. And Art, this is a work of you.
It's a work of me, isn't it? We've dragged it up a little bit.
We're going to finish this off with a bit of the syrup because I love when you have the, what are these called again? Strawberries.
Yes.
They just kind of create their own syrup and it's just, it makes everything look wonderful. And I see you've gone for some gold leaf sprinkle.
Well, I bought the glitter, but then I thought, you know, what's more fabulous than glitter? Gold leaf. However, I have never used it on a dish before. So I was wondering if you could help me with it.
It's just very
Delicate.
So pair of tweezers, you could use chopsticks if you wanted, or even just the end of a knife. But you kind of have to move it so that see how it kind of just sticks to
Oh,
everything.
that's luxe though, isn't it?
And it's all over my fingers. But you get the idea.
Goldfinger is pretty good, so I wouldn't be complaining if I was you. That's stunning.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Going to be getting gold leaf out of my hair for days now. Jerry, these pork chops look amazing.
Thank you. Look, I think it's just cooked through on
That's
the bone
perfect.
there.
Yeah, that's
And I'm just
perfect.
gonna
I
take
actually
that
don't
off.
even mind pork when it's a bit medium rare.
Look,
you know, my
I totally
preference, to be
agree,
honest.
right? It's
Yeah.
a little bit pink. It really stays really nice and moist.
Yep.
So I'm just going to slice this fairly thinly within the rice paper.
Yes. Rice paper rolls are something that most people who aren't Vietnamese in Australia are having. Maybe they might pick some up for lunch once in a while.
yeah.
But if they're having it for dinner, it's like once in a blue moon when they go into a restaurant and they're, they're trying something fancy. But it is a fantastic homemade solution.
Look, I think it is, and it's a good thing to sort of empty out the fridge as well.
Yeah, okay.
You know, we've got herbs in the garden, lettuce in the garden, and the protein we just empty out from the garden.
Too good. Grilled pork chop rice paper rolls and a fruity strawberry bruschetta. Jerry, I think when people make rice paper rolls, they try and get the paper too soft before they start rolling. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's why they get a lot of tears and they get a lot of or stodgy sort of rice paper rolls.
Sure.
Should be nice and really soft and silky.
Yeah. Lukewarm water, not dipping it for too long and then rolling away.
Correct.
And in there's pineapple, there's carambola, green mango, lots of fruits.
Yeah, so lots of textures, right? And lots of sweetness, flavours. And, you know, when I roll mine, I like tucking the two ends in. So they're exposed like this, and it's also not too chewy. You know, sometimes when you eat rice paper rolls and it's too chewy on the end, your first bite is just rice paper, essentially.
Stop talking, that is delicious.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Now you know why I eat this 3 days a week.
I'm wondering why it's not 5 or 7. That is so delicious. The herbs and the sweet and sourness of the fruit. Art, what do you reckon?
All right, so yes for me. I have to thank you, Jerry, for cutting them up into drag-friendly proportions for me, please. I've never had a rice paper roll cut up like sushi.
Easy to eat, right?
Oh.
Yeah, we do that when we have parties. It's just
I love it.
rice paper. Yeah, but I am really,
You ready for dessert?
really looking forward to this.
You know, I did not expect that the one thing that I've never eaten before on this day to be glitter.
You expect nothing less from a drag queen. As part of my daily diet is a mouthful of glitter, whether it's purposeful or not, so you may as well chuck it on your meal as well.
Unfortunately, that's delicious. Yeah, it's really good.
You're gonna have to have glitter at every meal now, I tell you, it's addictive.
It's actually really yummy. Syrup and butter and cream. I hate that I like that.
That's what people usually say after they meet me as well. They go, I don't know why, I don't know, but love it.
Speaking of which, pineapple. I did promise people earlier to show them how I would cut a pineapple at home. Little may you know, but my family village in China, actually, all the people that live there are all pineapple farmers. So I come from a long line of pineapple farmers. What I do is I cut the ends off. I'm actually looking at the edge of the pineapple here. Technically he's my nephew, but he's about 65. When we were last in the village, I saw him peel a pineapple in his hand, not even with a table, just like in about 8 seconds. Like it was so fast.
Yeah.
I'm not quite that fast, but so you've got all these little eyes around the pineapple, and you can actually just cut them out, like just a little V motion of the knife, follow the line of the eyes. If you've been reasonably good with your peeling, there might not even be too many eyes in there, but just little V cuts with the knife all the way through to take those eyes out. And after you cut out all the eyes, essentially you're left with your nice kind of pineapple. And then I cut it down into big wedges, take the core out as well, and that's your kind of base piece of pineapple you can cut into your slices.
Yeah.
And that's how you do a pineapple.
Perfect.
Jerry, Art, thank you so much. This has been fast, fab, fruity, fresh, delicious, all the F words. Stop it. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Very few food adjectives get me more excited than the word fast. And when you add fab and fruity to the mix, you are guaranteed a flavour sensation. If you want more of The Cook Up and more delicious food ideas, head to SBS On Demand. I'm Adam Liaw. Thank you for watching The Cook Up.